the result of the transit sales tax referendum and what it means for Durham, real-time information to make using mass transit a lot easier, and an update on what the city's doing to help failed and struggling developments. We invite you to join us now as we take you inside City Hall this week. Hello, I'm Amy Blaylock. Welcome to City Hall this week, dedicated to keeping you informed about what's going on inside Durham City Hall. A significant expansion is now in store for Durham's mass transit system. The approval of a half-cent sales tax increase by voters on November 8th will go to support bus service expansion for Durham Area Transit Authority and Triangle Transit throughout Durham. It will also support a 37-mile commuter rail system connecting West Durham, downtown, Research Triangle Park, Morrisville, Cary, West Raleigh, downtown Raleigh, Garner to Johnston County. The third component of the plan is a 17-mile light rail system that would extend from East Durham through Alston Avenue, through downtown, Duke University Medical Center, South Square, 15501, 54, and into Chapel Hill and UNC. Voters in Durham also cast their ballots for members of the City Council. Bill Bell will serve a 6th consecutive term as mayor. Incumbents Diane Katati and Eugene Brown were re-elected to 2 of the 3 at-large seats. And former Durham School Board member Steve Schewel was elected to the 3rd at-large seat, currently held by Farad Ali. The City Hall Plaza Improvements project is moving forward despite encountering numerous underground roadblocks.
This project, at its core, was to install an ADA compliant pathway to get from the parking lot to the front door of City Hall. But we also did a lot of other work. Underground, we installed a new water line. We have new storm drainage going in, as well as water quality devices. And above ground, you'll see new pavers. We have decorative street lights and also new sidewalks, and eventually we'll repave the street as well.
Once the project got underway and the pavement was removed, many underground utilities were discovered that had not been part of the original plans. Problems that have now resulted in $145,000 being added to the cost of the project.
This is a really short downtown block. And we've done a lot of streetscaping downtown. We've done Chapel Hill Street, Main Street, parts of Parish Street. But of all those projects, this particular block was the most congested one that we've had to deal with. When we opened up underground, it was just like looking at spaghetti. There was every utility you could think of underneath that street. Everybody was represented. The Public Service Gas Company, telecommunications company, fiber company, and so our job was to maneuver our utility improvements through everything that was there. So it was very complicated.
Since the extra costs were added to the existing contract for the project, work on the plaza has continued uninterrupted.
It's going along really well. We've gotten through the underground parts, so we won't have to do any more adjusting of utilities. And we're beginning to do all of those above ground things that people see and they think, oh, okay, that's progress. You'll see pavers going in. You'll see the street lights will soon be starting to be installed. And there's a lot of new sidewalk down. So our hope is that we'll get this all wrapped up by the end of November, first part of December, and we'll have a nice street out there for the upcoming holiday season.
More income from the city's housing bond program will now be going towards Southside revitalization. The City Council approved increasing the architectural and engineering contract between the city and the Center for Community Self-Help by $80,000. The original contract allowed for services needed for the development of 45 home ownership units in Southside. The additional money will go toward expanding self-help's scope of architectural and other design services. It will include the area located near the intersection of Piedmont Avenue and Roxborough Street. Progress continues to be made in repairing streets in the city's failed and struggling developments. The Public Works Department presented an update on the work to the City Council during its October 20th work session. The report shows that repairs are being made to the streets at Stony Brook Cottages and Lynn Hollow subdivisions, and the final asphalt surface has been installed at Riverside on the Eno subdivision. The department will continue to work with the City Attorney's Office to determine whether there are any other potentially responsible parties who can complete the work or secure additional funding. Helping you get where you need to be as quickly and efficiently as possible has been a priority for the city this year. Find out how this new technology will help in that effort when City Hall This Week continues.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Hey, look over there. Leaving town?
Yeah, Durham just ain't what it used to be. At least not for us little bugs anyways.
Why's that?
Adopt a stop for one thing. Got a bunch of people adopting their own bus stop, making it all safe and clean. It's just way out of line.
Hey, pick that up.
Who, me? I'm a litter bug. See what I mean? I am so out of here.
Learn more about Adopt a Stop and how you can help keep Durham beautiful.
Welcome back. Durham's transit system has gone live. The Go Live system was unveiled on October 19th during an event hosted by Triangle Transit. The new system will offer Durham's mass transit customers real-time information that's expected to take a lot of uncertainty out of waiting for a bus.
And what do I mean by real-time information? I mean what routes are actually available right now, where are those buses, when are they expected to arrive?
So, how does it work? The new technology will allow bus riders in the Triangle to access all of the real-time and non-real-time information they need in one place.
First I'm showing you here is the Go Live website. This can be, you can reach this by going to live.gotriangle.org. Basically, this system makes it easy for the user to either select a bus route or search for a stop in the area where they want to catch the bus. So it's simply choosing an agency and rolling over a bus route. You can zoom in on that particular bus route. And the closer you zoom, the more detail shows, including bus stops. At the same time, you can be looking, what is the unique thing about this system is you can look at multiple systems that are using multiple vendors at the same time. So if I want to look at a route in Chapel Hill, I can do that, and clicking on any stop will bring up any routes that are currently serving it and how far away the bus actually is, as well as where the vehicle is located at this time. For persons who aren't sure which vehicle they're taking, there's actually an easy search to search by route or address or a place. So for people like David who are UNC fans, say they want to go to the Dean Dome, you can easily search that, and when you click on the Dean Dome, you actually see the nearby bus stops. It may be hard to see because of the brightness of the screen, but I could see what stop is near the Smith Center and choose to see that route. And I can see where that vehicle is. So it actually just went by there already, so you see when the next one is coming on the prediction. For people who aren't map savvy, there's also a text version. Not everyone can look at a map and interpret where they are versus where the vehicle is. So another option is to be able to search just by a route for each agency. where you can select from any available routes that are currently running. So it only is showing what is currently running based on the time of day or day of the week. Or you can search by an address. So say I want to search around 3000 Hillsborough Street, it's actually going to show me what's nearby that address. And as I roll over any of the nearby stops, I see it on the map. And then I see what routes are currently serving it and how far away they are from the stop. This will also be available for the mobile users. We know our society is pretty much on the go and we're more mobile nowadays. So this system is also available through mobile web browser, whether it be simple or a mobile web browser that you have on a smartphone. So either way, you can still obtain the real-time information via mobile web browser. It'll also be available on free apps that are available for iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry users.
There will also be signs at most of the major stations or high boarding stops throughout the Triangle that will tell riders how far away the buses are from their next departures.
This will allow users to simply text their stop ID that's on the sign to 41411, and then they will receive a text back that tells them how far away their bus is.
Triangle Transit is also working to integrate with the state's 511 transportation system, which will allow riders to get real-time information by phone by next spring. That technology is part of the changes being made by Triangle Transit during its first year of oversight of Durham's transit services. Triangle Transit's long-term goal is to help provide more efficient and effective transit service through the Durham Area Transit Authority. To that end, the City Council received a report on the first year of that oversight during the October 20th work session. Triangle Transit General Manager David King says while there were no major changes, there have been some significant accomplishments.
Boardings grew during the period we're reporting on here by 8% per hour. They grew in absolute terms by, I think, 15%. That's the last bullet. And importantly, from a financial point of view, the fare box recovery increased to 20%, which means that 20 cents on the dollar of operating cost is being covered by fares. On the paratransit side, trips increased by 7.7%, and the cost per boarding went down. That's 107,000 trips made on behalf by people who, without the access paratransit system, would have a hard time meeting the needs that they have in this community. Those trips mean more to those people than a trip means to you or I. And so that's a relatively small number next to the number of boardings on data, but I would submit to you that those trips are more valuable to those folks by a large measure.
In addition, Triangle Transit's call center in southeastern Durham County received 65,000 calls from data customers looking for information last year. Just one of the things being done to make sure riders have the information they need and to improve the overall customer experience.
One of the things we've done in cooperation with the manager is to put some work in place to try to improve the experience of coming to the Durham station.
King also stressed how important partnerships are between Triangle Transit, data, the city, and area businesses and organizations.
We now have, Triangle Transit and the City of Durham have a relationship with Duke University and Duke University Medical System, which is called GoPass. It allows Duke to make passes available to employees, faculty, staff, students, and medical center employees at Duke, so they can ride either Triangle Transit or data with that pass, that GoPass, for free as far as they're concerned, and we get our payment from Duke. They ordered 6,000 passes. Within about 4 or 5 weeks, they had given out 5,000. They've ordered 5,000 more, and in the month of September, 41,000 rides were made in that way. It's much more efficient. We're not counting money coming into the fare box. It is providing an incentive to people at Duke who have not been transit riders, who are now riding. And Duke has a very enlightened policy over the last couple of years to try to improve their greenness and their sustainability. They have capped their parking, and this is a very important part of their strategy to do that.
In the year ahead, Triangle Transit will be looking at data's route and schedule system to determine what needs to stay the same and what needs to change. Those recommendations will be presented to the administration and the City Council next spring. New technology is also offering Durham residents a different way of calling for emergency help if they need it. Verizon Wireless customers can now send a text message to 911 as part of a trial of new texting software.
Text to 911 works with a simple 3-digit code of 911. If you put it in your telephones, you can text just like you send a message just like you would to anybody else, but it would come to us only. Texting to 911 here in Durham is the first of its kind in the nation with a major carrier. Most texting codes will require at least 5 digits, but this is just simply 911. If you're in Durham, it will come to the 911 center. So if you try to text 911 outside of Durham, it'll give you a message, or it just won't go through because it's not available in other areas. We're very excited. This is the first of its kind anywhere in the country. The major carrier, Verizon, is going to be learning a lot about how to make improvements, enhancements to the software. So far, it's working great.
Specialized technology that is specifically designed for 2 types of emergency situations.
Texting to 911 gives you an option that you may not have by dialing and talking to a 911 communications officer. Text to us if talking to us puts you in danger or jeopardy. That may be a very rare situation, but that could come up, so that you may not want anybody around to hear you, such as maybe somebody's breaking into your house and you're hiding under the bed. You know, if you're texting us, you can get the police there, and the persons that are coming into your house would not know you're there necessarily. Also, if you're deaf or hearing impaired, you can contact the 911 center directly through texting, and you won't be reliant on having to go through relay services for that. So with those 2 things in mind, that's what the purpose of 911 texting is for.
While those are the primary ways in which text to 911 should be used, emergency officials do want residents to make use of the technology during the trial period, which ends in January.
The technology is working perfectly. We have not had any real emergency situations being texted to us yet, but really it only takes one for that to happen, and it would be a success story. We do test it every day, several times a day, to make sure the technology is still working and working as it's supposed to, and it's working perfectly. So it's one of those options that are out there that, and if the need arises, it'll be ready for you to use if you're a Verizon Wireless customer.
A third reason to use text to 911 is if you are in a situation where you have a very low cell signal. It's important to remember that a text will go through while your voice may not. A grant from the Department of Justice is helping the city to strengthen its response to violence against women. The $339,000 grant has been made to the police department to encourage arrest policies and enforcement of protection orders. The funding will be used to centralize and coordinate police enforcement, prosecution, and judicial responsibility for sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking cases. It will also help strengthen legal advocacy services for victims. A new recycling contract means a win-win situation for the city. Find out how when City Hall This Week continues.
When I need you, I just close my eyes and I'm with you, and all that I so wanna give you, it's only a
You don't have to be a hero to be a hero. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Traction control, front and rear crumple zones, anti-lock braking system. For all the modern safety features an automobile has, a motorcycle has none of them. In North Carolina, there were 3,500 motorcycle crashes last year, killing 151 riders. Remember, in order for your helmet to do its job, you need to do yours first. Make sure it's a compliant helmet. For more information regarding training in your area, visit bikesafenc.com.
Are gas prices keeping your family close to home? We'll take it easy with Triangle Transit, where children 12 and under and seniors 65 and up ride free. With Triangle Transit, your whole family can get around the Triangle with ease. So leave your car at home, and remember, seniors and children always ride free with Triangle Transit. For more information, call 919-485-RIDE. That's 919-485-7433 to plan your next trip, and visit us online at triangletransit.org.
Welcome back. A significant improvement project is underway for the North Durham Water Reclamation Pre-Treatment Facility. Up to $1.6 million will be spent to replace equipment that has reached the end of its useful life. The improvements will allow the facility to better remove solids, reduce volume and odors, and allow for improved grease removal. Durham's recycling efforts will now turn into a revenue-generating venture for the city. The City Council approved a new 2-year contract with the current recycling company. That company will continue to receive and process city-collected recyclable materials, but this time Durham will receive a portion of the profits generated by processing those materials.
The previous recycling contract was simply a contract where we took our recyclables in for processing and no money exchanged hands. There were no fees. We did not pay the company, and the company did not pay us.
City staff says that while the previous contract was beneficial to Durham, the change is in line with industry best practices.
A revenue sharing component needed to be added because recyclables are worth something. They have a definite value, and the company was reaping all the rewards and we were getting nothing. Now, the reason for that is because we wanted an arrangement to start off with. Our first time we've ever done a recycling contract. We wanted an arrangement so that we could possibly avoid any liability, such as the market bottoming out and us having to pay the company. So therefore, we went for a no fee contract in the first 3 years. And now that we're comfortable that we have the capacity to earn money, we renegotiated, and we negotiated to a $30 per ton fee.
According to the new contract, that translates into $393,000 a year in revenue sharing the city is expected to receive.
Essentially, the system would be the same. Nothing changes. We would take the recyclables to the same drop-off point. They will take the recyclables over to Raleigh and process them. The only difference will be we'll be paid for what we take them.
In fiscal year 2011, Durham delivered approximately 13,000 tons of recyclables that were collected curbside and 144 tons of old corrugated cardboard for processing and marketing. There have also been 3 e-waste and shredding events held on an annual basis that produced 288,000 pounds of recyclables. The new contract will allow the city to continue to provide these services while earning money for its efforts at the same time. Durham is already gearing up for the holidays. Find out how you can join in on all the fun when City Hall This Week continues.
When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Butler residents? Everything that gets into our storm drains, soap, pesticides, pet waste, whatever, makes its way straight to our streams and into where you swim, what you drink, and where you fish. Stormwater runoff is our biggest source of water pollution. You're the solution now that you know where it goes.
Recycling feels good, and so does winning prizes. From now until November 30th, the City of Durham Recycling Prize Patrol is giving away gift cards, coupons, and more to randomly selected homes that recycle the correct way. It's simple. Things like plastic bottles, jars, mixed paper, aluminum, and glass go in the cart. Takeout boxes, hazardous waste, food residue, household items, and more don't. Call Durham One Call or visit durhamnc.gov for a complete list of recyclable items. Win prizes and help Durham's environment. Do your part. Recycle today.
Welcome back. The Durham Performing Arts Center is receiving additional support from some of the area's most notable corporations and foundations. In fact, 3 corporations and 2 major foundations recently gave more than $80,000 in naming rights contributions and support to the nationally ranked theater. Merck & Company is sponsoring the Technical Director's Office, Burt's Bees is supporting the Grand Tier West concessions, and F.M. Kirby Foundation is naming the General Manager's Office. Additionally, the Biddle Foundation is providing funds for operational needs, and IBM has donated a computer server to improve the facility's technological capabilities. The Arts Center was recently ranked the #3 arts venue in the nation based on ticket sales. An event that's sure to receive rave reviews yet again is just around the corner, the 2nd annual Holiday Fun Fest. The free event is open to the public and will be held on December 3rd from 2 until 6 p.m. at Durham Central Park and the Durham Armory. As you can see from this video of last year's Fun Fest, kids of all ages will be able to take part in a day of fun activities and entertainment. For a complete schedule and list of what's in store, visit the Parks and Recreation homepage on the city's website. And lastly, in this We Care segment, Durham firefighters are now better equipped to treat your furry family members.
Our mission is to equip every fire department in the U.S. and Canada with life-saving pet oxygen masks that are crucial to effectively administering oxygen to pets. Although the number of pets that die in fires each year is not officially kept, industry sources cite between 40 and 150,000 pets perish each year in house fires. In most states, emergency responders are not equipped to deal with this problem due to the lack of specially designed oxygen masks. It is our sincere hope that this donation helps emergency responders in the city of Durham and gives them the tools they need to help save the life of a pet that most people consider a family member.
We have a number of calls every year where pets are involved in house fires and they do inhale smoke, and we realize that pets are important family members to a lot of families, and a pet that succumbs to smoke is a loss for a family, and we recognize the value that they have to these families. This gives us a greater advantage of being able to put it on all 16 of our engines. Now we have much better coverage throughout the city of Durham. Again, we look forward to the donation, and we want to show a demonstration of how these pet masks can be used for animals. Thank you.
And these masks, 3 simple sizes depending on your pet. Very universal oxygen hookup here. Typically they would be unconscious if they've had the smoke inhalation, but it's just a simple little process of sealing here over the face. The rubber seal just allows for a good seal and allows the oxygen to be distributed to the pet's lungs until they are resuscitated.
It should have a good impact for us. As I said, it spreads the wealth to everybody, if you would. It gives everybody the opportunity to be there and make that save, and it just enhances our services to the citizens.
That does it for this edition of City Hall This Week. Be sure to like DTV8 on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to find out how you can tune into this show, City Life, and all the city's programming. You can also find us on demand on the city's website at durhamnc.gov/DTV8. I'm Amy Blaylock. Thank you for joining us for City Hall This Week.